भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So today we will be discussing Canto 9, Chapter 24, Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And today we are discussing the last verse of the last chapter of 9 Canto, text number 67. Prithvya savai guru bharam kshapayan kurunam antah samutha kalina yudhi bhupachamvaha दृष्ट्या विधूय विजये जयमुद्विघोष्य प्रोच्चोद्धवाय च परं समगात् स्वधाम। पृथ्व्या on the earth, Saha he Lord Krishna, Vai indeed, Guru Bharam a great burden, Kshapayan completely finishing, Kurunam of the personality is born in Kuru dynasty, Antas Samutta Kalina by creating enmity between brothers by disagreement, Yudhi in the battle of Kurukshetra, Bhupachamvaha all the demoniac kings, Drishtya by his glance, Vidhuya cleansing their sinful activities, Vijaye in victory, Jayam victory, Udvighoshya declaring the victory for Arjuna, Procha giving instructions, Uddhavaya unto Uddhava, Cha also, Param transcendental, Samagat returned, Swadhama to his own place. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Thereafter Lord Krishna created a misunderstanding between family members just to diminish the burden of the world. Simply by his glance, he annihilated all the demoniac kings on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and declared victory for Arjuna. Finally, he instructed Uddhava about transcendental life and devotion and then returned to his abode in his original form. Purport. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. The mission of Lord Krishna was performed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, for by the Lord's mercy, Arjuna was victorious due to being a great devotee, whereas the others were killed simply by Lord's glance, which cleansed them of all sinful activities and enabled them to attain Sarupya. Finally, Lord Krishna instructed Uddhava about transcendental life of devotional service, and then, in due course of time, he returned to his abode. The Lord's instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita are full of jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. In the human form of life, one must learn these two things: how to become detached from material world and how to acquire full knowledge in spiritual bliss. This is the Lord's mission. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. After executing his complete mission, the Lord returned to his home, Golok Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing this very last verse of 9th canto, and for previous few verses, Shukadeva Goswami is creating an appetite for the feast that is upcoming, which is 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned Dashamasya Vishuddhyartham Navanamiha Lakshanam. Just to highlight the 10th canto or properly understand the 10th canto, the 9 other topics of Bhagavatam like creation, sub-creation, maintenance and so many other topics are discussed so that we can purely understand the 10th canto. And now finally Shukadeva Goswami is, just like before a big meal is served, appetizer is given, so Shukadeva Goswami is creating that appetite to appreciate the sweetness of 10th canto, or to digest his pastimes properly and understand those pastimes properly. And therefore he is summarizing the entire mission of Krishna. So what is the mission of Krishna? As Lord Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So Prabhupada mentions in that purport to protect the devotees, sadhus, and to annihilate the miscreants. So the idea here is that who is sadhu? Prabhupada mentions sadhu means a person in Krishna consciousness. He is sadhu. And those who are averse to Krishna consciousness, they are dushkriti. So Krishna makes his appearance to annihilate the miscreants, those who are opposed to Krishna consciousness, and mainly to relieve his devotees. Because killing of demons he can do through his agencies also. That is the secondary reason. But the primary reason is his devotees in this world who are preaching his mission, who are remembering him. They are always harassed by the demoniac people. So therefore to protect them, just like Devaki and Vasudeva were harassed by Kamsa, so to protect them Krishna appears, makes his descent. And that is the main purpose. And another meaning of Paritranaya means to relieve those devotees who are very eager, very anxious to see Krishna in his Vrindavan pastimes. So to relieve their anxiety, that is also Paritranaya sadhunam. Therefore Krishna makes his descent. So this is, and then Prabhupada goes on to mention that in Kali Yuga, Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this time he doesn't kill the demons. This time he simply delivers them by his causeless mercy by preaching Harinam Sankirtan. So Prabhupada mentions those who are devotees of Krishna, they are very attracted to Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya doesn't, by using this method of Harinam Sankirtan, he delivers all conditioned souls. So Mahaprabhu himself says in Chaitanya Mangal, it is recorded, he says that Ebe Naam Sankirtan Tigma Khadgalaya. I will take this weapon of Naam Sankirtan, which is Tigma Khadga, very sharp sword of Harinam Sankirtan. And what I will do? Antara Asura Jiver Felimu Katiya. So what I will do? I will not kill the people, but that sinful tendency, demoniac tendency within the heart, which is like demons, I will kill that tendency by spreading Harinam Sankirtan. And not only I, but my followers will do the same. And then he says, Yadi papi dharma chhadi anya deshe jaye, dur deshe jaye. If some sinful person, he goes to some foreign country, then what will happen? Moro senapati bhakta, yaiba tathai. Then my senapati bhakta will go and spread Harinam Sankirtan, which is Yuga Dharma, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So he will spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world, even to those who have left the Vedic culture and gone dur deshe jaye, dharma chhadi dur deshe jaye, then more senapati bhakta yaibe tathai. One time Srila Prabhupada was asked, why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not spread Krishna consciousness all over the world himself? He went to South India, he preached, yes, okay, he made millions of devotees and like that. But then why did he not preach all over the world himself? And Prabhupada humbly said, because he left that service to me. Like that. So that is how we see how this Paritranaya Sadhunam is achieved mainly through his devotees. Prabhupada mentions Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered one Jagai Madhai, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is delivering thousands of Jagai and Madhai. So therefore Mahaprabhu's mission is as good as Mahaprabhu. And even better than Mahaprabhu, he says, at one place. More powerful than Mahaprabhu. Just like we say holy name is more powerful, the Nami is more powerful than Nami. So similarly, Mahaprabhu's mission is more powerful than Mahaprabhu. And this Harinam Sankirtan is delivering all over the world millions of Jagais and Madhais. Prabhupada is mentioning this. So Lord does this through his devotees. He accomplishes his mission mainly through his devotees and gives all credit to his devotees. Here also we see that Krishna engaged Arjuna in the battlefield. Actually, all this plan has been made by Krishna even before that. And he said that I have already killed them. You just become nimitta. Nimitta matra bhava savya sachin. You take the credit. You become nimitta. You become the instrument. So everything that Krishna achieves, he makes his devotees as his companions in that achievement. So here the verse says that translation, the purport says that Arjuna was victorious due to being great devotee, where others were killed by Lord's glance, and they attained Sarupya. So this verse is coming from Uddhava's remembrance of Krishna, where he says, Tathaiva chanye naraloka veera, ya ahave Krishna mukharavindam, netrai pibanto nayanabhiramam. Then this Krishna's lotus face was seen by the enemy soldiers on the battlefield. Parthastra puta padamapurasya. And simply by appreciating Krishna's beauty on the battlefield, even as the opposing soldiers, Prabhupada writes, they awakened their dormant love for Krishna. And then thus they attained Sarupya in spiritual world. They went to Vaikuntha, Prabhupada says. So now very interesting point Prabhupada mentions in the purport. He mentions that Shishupal also was envious of Krishna. He was also killed by Krishna, but then he merged into Brahmajyoti. But here the opposing soldiers were not envious of Krishna. Although they joined opposite party, but not all of them were like Duryodhana. They just joined because of family ties or many other things. So they were neutral to Krishna. And because of being pierced by Arjuna's arrows, what happened is their sinful tendencies went away, and because they were neutral, they could appreciate Krishna's beauty now. And by appreciating Krishna's beauty, they went to Vaikuntha. So their gati was greater, their destination was higher than Shishupal's destination. And Prabhupada mentions very interesting point here. He mentions that every living entity has a dormant love for Krishna. And bhakti is the process to awaken that dormant love. But there are degrees to which that love can be awakened. if somebody successfully awakens this love to the fullest extent, he goes to Golok Vrindavan. And if one happens to awaken it to certain extent, some extent, due to accident or due to association of those kinds of devotees, then he goes to Vaikuntha. This was quite interesting for me. And like that. So if one awakens one love to its fullest potential, to its fullest extent, then one goes to Golok. And if not, if to certain extent it is developed, then he goes to Vaikuntha. So like that he mentions. And here we hear that Naraloka Veera Padamapurasya. So this is a very great quality of Krishna. We know that Jiva has 50 qualities. And Lord Shiva has 5 qualities more than Jiva. And Lord Vishnu has even more 5 qualities greater than Lord Shiva. And those 5 qualities are mentioned as Avataravali Bijaha. Those are Vishnu Tattva, they are the sources of incarnations. Avataravali Bijaha. And Koti Brahmanda Vigraha. And many millions of universes come out of their body. So these features are not available in Lord Shiva. And then Avichintya Mahashakti, inconceivable power, inconceivable infinite power. And Hatari Gatidayakatvam, Hatari Gatidayaka. Those demons, those who are killed by Vishnu Tattva, they get higher destination, it is mentioned. Higher destination. And finally, Atma Rama Ganakarshi. Means they can attract even those who are taking pleasure in the self. Then Vishnu Tattva can attract even Atma Ramas. So the quality we are discussing here is Hatari Gati Dayaka. Hata means killed, Ari means enemy, Gati means higher destination, Dayaka means giver. Giver of higher destination to those enemies which are killed. That is the special quality of Vishnu Tattva. So, but same quality is present in Krishna in the fullest extent. Even all those qualities are mentioned in Krishna also, but even to the higher degree, they are present. Just like it is mentioned that when other incarnations kill the demons, they don't get liberation. They get Swarga, heavenly planets. This is mentioned by Jiva Goswami in Sandarbhas. So they get higher destination in terms of Swarga, other incarnations when they kill. Of course, other incarnations can deliver the devotees and take them to Vaikuntha, but to the demons, they don't give them liberation. But for Krishna, to all the demons he killed, he gave them liberation, either in terms of Sayujya or in terms of sending them to Vaikuntha. So that's a great quality of Krishna, and Prabhupada therefore mentions, and therefore whatever Krishna does is absolute. Whether he protects or whether he kills, it is all for the good of the living entity. But of course it is recommended that one shouldn't think of Krishna in envious manner. Rather, bhakti is anukulyena krishnanushilanam. Cultivate favorable attitude towards Krishna. So this is about Lord's mission. So now I would like to discuss another very important point as far as Siddhanta is concerned. So we see here that Krishna is spending 11 years in Vrindavan, manifesting many pastimes, beautiful pastimes here in Vrindavan, and then he goes to Mathura to kill Kamsa and protect Devaki Vasudev, and then from there he goes to Dwaraka, and then again he comes back. So the question is sometimes asked that, and finally Prabhupada mentions here that once he completes his mission, then Lord returns to his home, Golok Vrindavan. So it should be noted that Golok Vrindavan, which stays in the realm above Vaikuntha. And to the same verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that Krishna then became unmanifest and engaged in continued his unmanifested pastimes. That means here only he continued his unmanifested pastimes. So how to reconcile? It's very easy. Srimad Brihad Bhagavatamrut, it says that the Golok Vrindavan there and Vrindavan here, Bhauma Vrindavan, it's like the house and a courtyard. There is no difference. House and a courtyard. Like one can very easily go from house to the courtyard and come from courtyard from the house, and they are considered the same. So similarly, the devotees and even Krishna can, whenever he wants, can switch to Bhauma Vrindavan or Golok Vrindavan whenever he wants. So another very important point is, it is mentioned, but now we see that Krishna is traveling to so many places. But then what about Vrindavanam Parityajya Padam Ekam Na Gacchati? Jai Jai Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Lalita Vishakha Devi ki Jai, Shri Krishna Balram ki Jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So, Vrindavanam Parityajya Padam Ekam Na Gacchati, how can we understand this in a proper way? So, first, it is to be understood that Krishna's pastimes are of two types, prakat and aprakat. Prakat means manifest, aprakat means unmanifest. So Krishna's unmanifest pastimes are eternally going on, whether in Golok Vrindavan or whether in Bhauma Vrindavan. His pastimes are aprakat pastimes are continuously going on. Just like about Mahaprabhu also it is mentioned, his pastimes are continuously going on. Adyapi sei lila kare gaura rai, kono kono bhagyavan dekhi bare paye. Those who are very fortunate, that means they have developed sufficient qualification and great eagerness to see the Lord, they can see Lord Chaitanya's Prabhu's pastime in Navadvip or Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan, like that. So first it should be established that these are eternal pastime, always happen in present time. Therefore it is said, Jayati Jaya Nivas, Jana Nivaso, Devaki Janmavado. Jayati word is used in present tense, means always Krishna's dham is eternal and his unmanifest pastimes are continuously present. And Krishna is manifesting his Vrindavan Krishna pastimes in Vrindavan continuously without cessation, like that. And he is manifesting his unmanifest Dwarka pastime in Dwarka dham eternally and separately. And he is manifesting his Mathura pastimes in Mathura. Mathura Krishna is, who is expansion of Vrindavan Krishna, he is performing his Mathura pastime in Mathura Dham eternally, separately, like So, but what about Prakat Leela? In Prakat Leela we do see Krishna going away from Vrindavan. So how to understand that? One explanation is, in some places it is mentioned, and that is one explanation, that when Krishna comes to Vrindavan, the Vasudeva Krishna merges into body of unmanifest Shyam Sundar Krishna or Nandan Krishna, and then Nandan Krishna continues, just like it is mentioned that when Vasudeva brought his son Krishna, then in Yamuna, till Yamuna he continued, and from Yamuna onwards the Nandan Krishna continued. Another version is when he was placing his son Krishna near the bed of Mother Yashoda, exchanging with that girl that Yashoda Maya gave birth to, then this Vasudeva Krishna merged into Nandan Krishna. That is another explanation. And similarly it is mentioned that when Krishna goes out of Vrindavan, his Vasudeva expansion leaves, but the Shyam Sundar Krishna or Nandan Krishna stays in Vrindavan in unmanifest form. So that is one explanation, and that is one of the way it happens. But very interestingly, yesterday I found in Laghu Bhagavatamrut, and even before that actually I found it, yesterday I just confirmed it, that Laghu Bhagavatamrut explains the logistic of Krishna leaving Vrindavan in a different way. So let's see how he explains it. He says that in manifest pastimes, Krishna does go out of Vrindavan. So let's see how. And that makes a lot of transcendental sense. So for more details you can read chapter 5 of Laghu Bhagavatamrut, verse 461 onwards. So yes, in some pastimes, in some kalpas, maybe it is like that Krishna expands into his Vasudeva form, and Vasudeva goes out of Vrindavan and Krishna stays in Vrindavan. But according to Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Krishna in one form stays in unmanifest in Vrindavan, fulfilling the rule that Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. But at the same time, according to Rupa Goswami and even according to Srila Prabhupada, we will mention that, we will see where, that Krishna does, in one form Krishna does leave Vrindavan. Means Vrindavan Krishna leaves Vrindavan. And we are immediately on to that subject matter. So, and this Rupa Goswami's Laghu Bhagavatamrita is commented even by Baladev Vidyabhushan. So Baladev Vidyabhushan writes in the commentary, to think that Krishna never left Vrindavan at all is not agreeable to the author Rupa Goswami. Why? Because then it will mean that the separation that the Vrajvasis is feeling are not real. And then all other pastimes would become meaningless. Like Krishna sending Uddhava as a messenger to Vraja, that would become meaningless. Vrajavasi is going to Kurukshetra to meet their beloved, will become meaningless. Even Krishna returning from Dwarka to Vraja would become meaningless. So what is the more coherent way of understanding is given by Rupa Goswami here. So very beautiful, and it answers many questions. So Atha prakata rupena Krishno yadi purim vrajet. In prakata pastime, yes, we already established that in unmanifest pastime Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavan Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. But in prakata pastimes, in one form Krishna does leave Vrindavan. That means Nandan Krishna leaves Vrindavan. And then how is he marrying so many queens then now, and how does he relate with queens then? Vrajeshat jatvam achadya. Vrajesha means Nanda Maharaj. Vrajesha ja means Nandan, being the son of Nanda. Vrajesha jatvam achadya. Krishna covers his Shyam Sundar Nandan form and manifests his Vasudeva form. Vyanjan swam Vasudevatam. So this is different from Krishna staying in Vrindavan and Vasudeva Krishna continuing on. This is different. This is same Vrindavan Krishna is leaving Vrindavan in Prakat pastimes and covering his Vrindavan mood and Vrindavan attitude and Vrindavan identity, let's say, as Nandan Krishna, and manifest his Dwarka identity to associate with and marry Dwarka queens and perform pastimes with Vasudeva and Devaki. We are talking about manifest pastime which happened 5000 years ago. Unmanifest pastime where Dwarka Krishna eternally performs pastimes with Vasudeva, Devaki and Rukmini, Satyabhama. This is a different case. So, so now, if that is the case, that explains many things. Because that explains why Krishna in Dwarka remembers gopis during night and he calls Radhe, Lalite, Vishakhe. Because if that is not Brajanandan Krishna, then how can he remember his pastimes with what that happened in Vrindavan? Right? You can only remember those things which you experienced or done. You don't remember somebody else's experiences. Right? So therefore, Krishna, who is Nandanandan, covering his Nandanandan identity and manifesting Vasudeva Nandan identity in Dwaraka, he remembers, it is very befitting that he remembers the gopis of Vrindavan. And then it also makes a lot of sense why Mahaprabhu sees Jagannath as Gopala Murti. That means Gopal of Vrindavan. And it also makes sense that how Vrajavasis want to go and meet Krishna, like in Vrindavan, at Kurukshetra, I'm sorry. So that is how all these pastimes make sense, right? And now we'll discuss how, what happens to Vrajavasis when Krishna leaves Vrindavan. That is the next subject matter of this book. Next few verses discuss what happens to the Vrajavasis. So Vrajasis feel separation from Krishna once Krishna leaves Vrindavan and goes to Mathura. For next 3 months, they feel intense separation from Krishna. And that, because of that intense separation, Krishna appears to them as Visfurti. Visfurti means sudden appearance in the mind. So Viraha Janit Visfurti. For 3 months, Krishna appears as Viraha Janit Visfurti. After 3 months, whenever any Vrajavasi feels intense separation from Krishna, Krishna comes as Avirbhav. Suddenly appears in front of them, performs pastimes with them as Avirbhav. So first 3 months of separation, Visfurti. Then onwards, Avirbhav. This is mentioned in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Till when? Till when Krishna actually comes back from Dwarka. Till Uddhava is sent as messenger. Till that time it is Avirbhav, and then it is called Agaman or Agati. That means Krishna actually coming as a Prakat form on chariot. So in 3 ways Krishna is present before Vrajavasis, even after his leaving Vrindavan. And we will discuss this very, very beautiful pastime where all the Vrajavasis go to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna. So there, this mood was displayed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ratha Yatra, where he suddenly starts singing this verse. Yah kaumara harasaevi varastayeva chaitrakshapa techon militamalati suravaya praudha kadamba nila sachayvaham tathapi tatra surata vyapara lila vidhau reva rodasi vedasi tarutale chetas samutkanthade. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in mood of Radharani, he is saying that, oh, you are same Krishna, I am also same Radha, and this is the same happiness of meeting, but still this is not the same. Why my mind goes to Vrindavan? Radharani is saying. Mahaprabhu is saying in the mood of Radharani. So when Radharani meets Lord Krishna on battlefield of Kurukshetra, actually Kurukshetra, not battlefield of Kurukshetra, because everybody went there to take bath and all that, perform rituals. So at Kurukshetra, so Radharani is expressing her heart to Lord Krishna. She is saying that, Sei tumi, sei ami, sei nava sangam. You are the same Krishna, I am same Radharani, and this is the same sangam, but tathapi moraman hare Vrindavan. But my mind is stolen by Vrindavan. So therefore, please, you make your lotus feet appear in Vrindavan. Then my heart's desire will be fulfilled. Then she is saying, Iha lokaranya, hati goda ratadvani. Here I see mob of people, and then there is hati goda ratadvani, the ranting, rattling noises of chariot and elephants. Taha pushparanya. But in Vrindavan there are fragrances of flowers, and Shuka, Pika Brunga Nadashuni, and there is constant humming of bumblebees, a very beautiful atmosphere for our pastimes. And here, Iha Rajavesha Sange Kshatriya Gana. Here you are in Rajavesh, king's attire, and Kshatriyas are also sitting with you. Taha Gopavesh Sange Murali Vadan. There you are a cowherd boy and you are playing flute. So then she says that therefore please, whatever happiness I felt in serving you there, that is oceanic happiness in Vrindavan. And this happiness of our meeting is not even a drop of that ocean. So please come to Vrindavan, she is telling Krishna. Then she and all the gopis, they petition Krishna with this very beautiful expression. Ahushyate nalina nabha padara vindam yogeshwari hrudi vichintya magad bodhai samsara kupa patitot taranavalamam geham jusham api manasi udiyat sadanaha. So she is saying, Radharani is saying, that Annera manavan mora mana Vrindavan manavane ekakari jani. Taha tomara padadvaya कराह यदि उदय तबे तुम्हार पूर्ण कृपा मानी. She says that for others, their heart and mind are the same. Their heart is their mind. Their heart resides in their mind. But for me, Moraman Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not different than my heart, or it's not different than my mind. So how can somebody? So Brajvasis cannot leave Vrindavan because Vrindavan is their heart. You know. So therefore, you come to Vrindavan. She is saying like that, and she is saying that. How is it that you forgot all of us? Vrindavana, Govardhana, Yamuna, Pulinavana, Sai Kunje, Rasadika Leela, Sai Vrajer, Vrajajana, Mata Pita, Bandhugana, Badachitra, Kemana Pasarila. She is saying, oh, have you forgotten all our pastimes in Vrindavan? Govardhan and the Nikunja Leela pastimes, Ras Leela pastimes. Okay, you have forgotten that, that's fine, but have you forgotten other Vrajavasis? Vrajavasi, Jatajana, Mata Pita, Bandhugan, your parents, your friends, have you forgotten them? Then she says, oh, but you cannot forget them, you are so compassionate, still you are forgetting them, that is our own misfortune it seems. Then she says that, okay, I don't count my unhappiness. She says that Nagani apanar dukha, dekhi vrajeshwari mukha, vrajajanera hridaya vidare. I don't count my unhappiness, but I see the face of Mother Yashoda. And seeing her face, the Vrajavasis, their heart is shattered. So, Kiba Mara Vrajavasi, Kiba Jiao Vrajayasi, Kene Jiao Dukha Sai Vare. So, either you kill all of us, or you come to Vraja and save all of us. Why do you keep us in between? Like, just keep us alive, just to suffer, like that. And then she mentions, Tomara ye anya vesha, anya sangha, anya desha, vrajajane kabu nahi bhai. You are this new attire, you are this kingly robes, and this new association with so many different soldier associates, and your anya desh, your new address. We are Vrajajane Kabu Nahi Bhai. We never appreciate that. Vraja Bhumi Chadite Nare, but we also cannot leave Vrindavan Dham because that's our heart. Vrajajane Chadite Nare, Vraja Bhumi Chadite Nare. Toma Dekhile Na Mare. But if we don't see you, then we die. Then Vrajajaner Ki Habe Upay. What is the solution? The solution is, you are Tumi Vrajera Dhana, Vrajarajera Pranadhana, Vrajera Sampat. So you come to Vrindavan and save all of us. And there Krishna says something very, very beautiful in reply to Srimati Radharani. So Radharani is trying to evoke Krishna's remembrance of his pastimes in Vraja so that he decides to come back to Vraja. And that is successful. Vraja Janer, so thinking of love of Vrajavasis, Vraja Prema Mane Ani, then he becomes very overwhelmed. And he says that, Shuna Prana Priya Mora Satyavachan. Oh, please, oh Radharani, please hear my true words. Then Krishna says that, actually day and night I suffer in separation from all of you. And nobody knows my unhappiness. He says that Vrajavasi Jatajana Mata Pita Bandhugana Sabha Hai Mora Prana Sama. All the Vrajavasis, including Mata Pita Bandhu, mother, father, friends, they are like my life and soul. Taramate Gopi Gana Sakshat Mora Jivana. And gopis are directly my life. And Tumi Mora Jivan Era Jivan. You are the very life of my life. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, Radharani actually is the center of all activities in the Vrindavan. And Krishna is just instrument in her hands. She is, with her love, she is just purchases Krishna. Just like Mahaprabhu said, I am purchased by Vasudeva Datta. So similarly in Vrindavan, Krishna says, I am purchased by Vrajavasis, especially Srimati Radharani. And therefore all still in Vrindavan, everybody says, Jai Radhe, like that. So, and then he says that, so Radharani is actually the queen of Vrindavan, and Krishna is simply her decoration. Prabhupada writes in this purport. And Krishna is Madan Mohan, but Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini. And then Krishna says that all of you Vrajvasis, I am simply controlled by your love. I am simply subservient to your love. And then this particular point which I wanted to elaborate. He says that just to save all of you, I every day pray to Lord Narayan. And by his potency, from Dwarka I come every day to Vrindavan. This Krishna is saying. Niti Niti means every day I come to Vrindavan. And you consider that this is just appearance of me in the mind. Like, Tumi manaha moras furti. And then he says that that by Narayan's mercy only, I come to Vrindavan in invisible form. I associate with you in invisible. Invisible to others, I become visible only to you. But because of your intense love, now visibly also I will come to Vrindavan. So now Krishna is covering both the aspects which are mentioned in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. He is covering Visfurti and Avirbhav, which happens every day. And after few years, actually Krishna comes back 2 or 3 times to Vrindavan. So that is called Agaman. So Krishna says, few demons are remained. I will just kill them and just come to Vrindavan and again engage in all those divine pastimes with all of you. And then he says this verse which completely satisfies Radharani's heart and Vrajvasi's heart. He says this, Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amrutatvaya kalpate. Dishtya yadasit matsneho bhavatinam madapana. He says that devotion unto me guarantees my association. Amrutatva is Krishna's association. And by great fortune you had that sneha for me. And that guarantees that I will come to Vrindavan. Like that. And then Krishna fulfills his promise. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport, whole purport of Ratha Yatra is this, bringing Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. Like that. So here we see a very beautiful pastime and very, I can say, a different revelation by Laghu Bhagavatamrita, where it is mentioned that not only Krishna in unmanifest form never leaves Vrindavan, but in manifest form, Prakata Leela, Prakat Leela also in one form he is with Vrajvasis in terms of Visfurti, Avirbhav and Avirbhav, but in another form he leaves Vrindavan, covers his Nandanandan identity, manifest Vasudeva identity, and daily from Dwarka he goes to Vrindavan. That is also mentioned in Rupa Goswami, quoting from, I think, okay, I'll just... Vraje Dwaravati sthasya. So Krishna is at Dwaravati. Pradurbhavo Muradvisha Bruhad Vishnu Purana. Bruhad Vishnu Purana mentions this. How Krishna daily from Dwaraka he appears to Vrajvasis. Like that. In manifest pastimes or Prakat pastimes. And Rupa Goswami ends by saying, this is explained many times. Not just one reference, but this is proven fact. So like that. So now that we have 5 minutes, I will just, because now it's next upcoming is Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. So little bit about glories of Vrindavan. I would like to mention. So Krishna explains that actually the most original form of Krishna is the Vrindavan Krishna. This is clear when the Raghupati Upadhyay, he composes the verse for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Shamam eva param rupam. Supreme Personality of Godhead has many incarnations. But Krishna is the supreme of all those incarnations. Krishna also manifests in 3 forms. Vrindavan Krishna, Mathura Krishna, Dwarka Krishna. But in that also, Vrindavan Krishna is the supreme or most original, let's say. And all other are his expansions. Puri Madhupuri Vara. And in that also Krishna has 3 ages. The Balya, Kaishora, Pauganda. The Balya, Pauganda, Kaishora. Vayam Kaishorakam Dhyayat. And in that also he has 5 different rasas. In that the conjugal rasa is the most prominent. Adya eva paro rasa. So therefore Vrindavan is greater than even Dwaraka and Mathura. Nityam me Mathuram vidhi vanam Vrindavanam tatha Yamunam Gopakanyasya Tatha Gopala Balakam. One should consider that this Vrindavan Dham is eternal Dham. The Gopis are eternal, and therefore, and in order to see them, one has to become completely free from samsara vasana. Therefore, we pray that Arakabe Nitai Chander Karuna Haibe Samsara Vasana Mora Kabe Tuchha Habe Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Mana Kabe Maherabo Shri Vrindavana. And then, moreover, we need mercy of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti Kabehama Buji Gose Jugala Piriti. Like that. So, okay, I will just then quickly summarize now that and Vrindavan is such an inconceivable place that even if millions of Brahmandas can accommodate in a small space in Vrindavan. And it can expand or contract as per the need of the pastime. And therefore, because of this inconceivable nature, the pastime take place in such a way that only those who are qualified, they get the access to the pastime. Even in Vrindavan Leela, we see that when there was Rasa Leela was happening, it is mentioned that demigods come over the sky and they watch the Rasa Leela. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and other acharyas explain that actually the demigods could see, actually Krishna is dancing with every gopi. But then demigods could see only Krishna dancing alone. They didn't see the gopis dancing because it's inappropriate for them because of lack of qualification to see gopis pastimes with Krishna. It's a confidential pastime. So they see only Krishna dancing while gopis edited from the picture. So that's the inconceivable potency of Dham. And demigoddesses on the other hand, they could see both because they had female bodies. They could see both gopis and Krishna. So that's wonderful pastimes of Vrindavan. There are so many, but because the time is less, I think I will stop here. And there are 2 minutes. If there are any questions, we can have one question. Yes, one question. Sorry.
Different pastimes of the Lord with the incarnation of Lords. So we see there are so many incarnations of Lord, and we see Krishna is only the Supreme. We have to meditate on Krishna. But still then also we are developing our mind there. Instead of focusing on Krishna, we develop our mind there. We are getting mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are getting mercy of Rupa Goswami, so many things we are getting mercy. But our concentration should be on Krishna.
Yes.
That concentration we are developing. So why is it starting like this?
Oh, you mean different things means? Okay, yeah. So let's understand it this way. So different devotees have their different nature by which they get attracted to different incarnations also. Like we have Murari Gupta getting attracted to Lord Ramachandra, and Mahaprabhu appreciated that. He said that Sei Prabhu Dhanya Jena Chhade Nija Jan, Sei Bhakta Janya Dhanya Jena Chhade Prabhur Charan. So he appreciated that. For Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu recommended being attracted to Krishna. And Jiva Goswami offers a very good explanation, and that way we can see this whole thing. Appreciate those who are attracted to other forms. Their devotion we must appreciate and not offend them by minimizing them. But for our own case, we should pray to other incarnations that our bhakti towards Krishna becomes solidified. That's what we should do. And just to understand the relationship between incarnations of Krishna and Krishna, Jiva Goswami gives this very beautiful analogy. He says that Krishna is like full moon, and different incarnations are like different phases of moon, like half moon, etc. So somebody may ask, is the full moon same as half moon? So one may say, no, of course it is not the same. And other devotee may say, of course it is the same. Like, so both are correct. Full moon is same as half moon because it is the same moon, but at the same time it's not the same moon because Krishna manifests all 64 qualities while other incarnations manifest 60 qualities. They are expansions of Krishna. They have different moods, different, we can say practically different identity. And they have their relationship as being expansions of Krishna. So like that. So this moon analogy is very satisfying to me. So that's how we can see, and that's how we meditate on full moon. And if somebody is meditating on half moon, we just appreciate that. So that's what my answer to this. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Dev Bhagavan ki